And we're live. Good evening. This is Open-Minded Mystics, episode 59. Today is December, 59. Can you believe it?
No.
Yeah, today is December 6th. And I am Donna V, and I am here with the most amazing mystical beings, the most amazing mystical creatures, my besties. We've got Tracy Locke, voice of the audience, and Kim Mazzella, relationship coach and light docent. We are so excited to be here today, and we are so filled with energy. We just got off of doing some Instagram advertising. I'm watching the numbers go up as you guys are coming in. I want to say welcome to everyone. If it's your first time here, welcome. If not, welcome back. We are Open-Minded Mystics. We are live 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at Facebook and YouTube weekly. You can find us on Twitch. You can find us anywhere you want, but we want you to subscribe, share from YouTube. We really would appreciate that. That's the one holiday gift we're asking for. And we have just come off of the most amazing high. Last week was the first Open-Minded Mystics Mastermind group. And I'm going to have somebody else have a choice at the mic tonight, or a chance at the mic tonight. Let's hear what you thought, because right now I'm still telling you I'm pumped.
I'm totally pumped. I will go first because I am as Donna said, the voice of the audience. So a lot of times I take a more cynical view. And when I say cynical, not a negative view, just a more like, I don't really understand how this works, and give me the bottom line, and how's this actually going to go? And is this really going to be great? And my two lovely co-hosts have always been talking about this meditation. They're like, and Donna would be like, oh my God, wait for the meditation. It is unbelievable. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm hitting my necklace. Thank you. I was like, yeah, okay, I meditate, and I love to meditate, and I look forward to meditate. But as we said on Instagram, I have monkey mind, girls, which is I am always trying to bring my mind back to not thinking about a laundry list of things that I have to do for the day, or something that happened to me a week ago, and focusing on the moment. Let me tell everyone out there, when Kim, Light Docent Mazzella, was doing this meditation, it was like I was in a focused tunnel. I was grounded. I felt so relaxed. I could have fallen asleep. It was amazing. I didn't want to be anywhere else. I wasn't thinking of anything else. I was focused on the energy that she was giving and the energy that I was giving to the other people in the group. It was like, I have to say it, a mystical, magical experience. And thank you so much, Kim. It was awesome.
Thank you so much. And to me, it really is a mystical experience, the whole group, because what happens is when it's, you could go through life and really try to grow through life on your own. But if we were supposed to do it alone, there wouldn't be more than one of us, right? The whole thing that I teach, A Course in Miracles, is all about relationship. It's all about growing and connecting through relationships. So when I first started this meditation, my goal was, how can we lift each other up in the most and manifest and combine all those things, manifesting, meditation, support, love, and create it in
co-creating.
And create it in an experience where you're able to be visible with your stuff and share and create a space that other people can support you in that space. So really the meditation is about each person getting a chance to be lifted up. And the way I feel when I do it is like, I really feel, it's almost like energetically you see the whole room rising up. And what I love about it is sometimes people will say, when I used to do it in the room, that as the meditation went on, they felt like the people were right next against them.
Yes.
Right? You felt like, and then you'd open your eyes and you'd be like, you're all the way over there.
Yeah.
I don't know what the experience was online. I'd love to know how it was different, but I do feel like you do still feel connected. Even I in the first time, and what's great is the first time you do it, you're like, wow, I so much care about each person in the group, because we spend time really enjoying it. Oh, thank you so much. I felt the same way. I enjoy it as much as the people who receive it. That's why it's like the teacher's always a student.
I love that. It's like the difference between when you were a little kid and you wrote a letter to Santa and you got a letter back. Did you ever get a letter back?
Because maybe, probably.
Well, there were these books that you could buy for your kids, right? A regular storybook, right? is just a general person, Dick and Jane. But there are these books, and I'm sure somebody out there that's listening, Howdy, Jerry Reed,
Have your
Kathy,
name in them,
I
right?
had your name in them.
Yes.
And you felt like that author wrote that specifically for you.
Yes.
That is the difference between a general meditation and a meditation that Kim does. So the fact that you pay attention during the entire, session and class, and then you write notes and you include, the parts that we were all trying to work on in the meditation, that has always been my favorite part, because it's like, okay. And it's funny because, we do so much talking, right? Like if we're a really interactive group, and it depends on what you pick up on and what you put into that meditation. And I always would feel like when we were doing it in person, like, okay, so that's the part that means I'm supposed to really, that's what pinged to Kim. So I'm going to allow that to be the focus and the first thing I start to work on.
Yeah. Yeah. And one of the things I always say is everyone's stuff, everyone is going through, right? No, maybe not in that exact form, right? But no one put out anything that was like that shocking, right? Most of us have, similar stuff. We're all working on it. And how wonderful that we create space to support each other to work on their stuff, whatever. And what's also great about this type of group is some of us, we're all like flowers in the garden. And some areas we're thriving, and some areas we're not. So some people have the relationship thing down. Some people have the money thing down. Some people have the eating thing down, or whatever. And what I love is you can come and share what you're great at, right? And talk about, hey, this worked for me. Hey, this is how, because I always say that this group is not a group where I give advice. Because I can remember years ago, when I first started to becoming a spiritual coach, and people would say, well, what right do you have to give advice? And I'd say, I never give advice. I teach the rules, I teach the tools, and I teach you how to use them. I teach you, I do mirror what I hear, but I'm certainly not going to step into your life and tell you what to do. I could give you suggestions and things like that. But what this group's like, it's like a group where we come together and each person gets listened to. And really listen to. And that's what part of the meditation for me is, just allowing that person, beyond the fact that we're doing energy work, but if you have something going on, you're going to have everybody in the group listening to it. And I'm going to make you listen to it for a little bit of time, not just listen to it, but we're going to support you for the outcome that you want. So
absolutely. Yeah. If you're just tuning in and you're wondering what we're talking about, we are talking about the fact we are just doing some highlights. As promised, we are not going to talk about what happened in group. What happened in group stays in group, but just some highlights, some general overviews of what it might be like to be a part of our group and the excitement that we are sharing, because we haven't seen each other since then. And it just really is thrilling. Thank you, Kathy, for putting in your input. I love that you felt like you were still experiencing it throughout the week. And the next group that's coming up is on December 27th. And one of the fun things that we wanted to excitedly announce is we are changing the start time to 7:30, because we realize that 8 to 9 in a non-interactive group is almost not enough time. In an interactive group,
forget about
definitely not, because we have so much that we want to do and so much we want you to say. Right. So it's pretty exciting. And next month is going to be the winter solstice. Tracy Locke, why don't you tell them a little bit about what's going to be expected there?
Okay, well, it's going to be amazing, and I'm getting my notes up because we were talked about a couple of things, but we're going to be clearing and creating in the winter solstice, which is going to be awesome. It's December 27th, 7:30 to 9. So we're going to have plenty of time to talk and really dig into it and get to know each other even better. And I felt like an affinity for those people that were there already, and I know they'll come back, and we're going to have even more, which will be great. But it's something that was so amazing to have that group collective. Like the both of you have talked about that collective, and I've never experienced it, but to actually experience it yourself, as Kathy said, it's like you were in a trance and you felt like everybody was there in the room with you. So I'm so excited to do, the clearing and creating, because it's the new year coming, right? So we all know that we are all prepping for a new year. Everyone, I believe, is of the same volition of like, look, 2022 is going to be so much better than 2020 and 2021. I feel like we're ramping back up to
we
goodness.
are. We're creating a revolution with your resolutions. Why have a resolution which is resolving something, right? I mean, really, I guess is maybe the root word, but then again, what the heck do I know? But to create a resolution is to resolve something. But why not incredibly create something? Why not say, well, what is it about 2021 that I really think I could have done maybe a little bit better, or maybe I could have created more if I only knew how? So Kim is going to be talking about scripting the week before. Yes. And then we're going to take it to a whole new level in the group. So tonight we're recapping, and we're going to be talking a little bit about prepaving, just because we want to make sure that those that were in the group, last week, if they have any questions that they thought about during the week, they can ask. But we want to share it with everyone, prepaving for the rest of the holidays. But really, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to know how to better order up what it is I want delivered to my table for 2022.
And that's a great way to put it. I love it.
Better order it up. Let's do that, people, because it's time. And, I really feel like we all needed to take apparently the universe wanted us to take a stop, applause, and step back, right? And now it really does feel like we have this opportunity. What do we want to become? It does feel like there's this shift in the universe, and so many of us are involved in the shift, right? And you could be afraid, or you can join the open-minded mystics and decide that you want to stand on the platform of love. And it's funny because I read a lot of A Course in Miracles, and it talks about every single day, all day long, we're making this choice every single day. And just because I made the right choice 30 seconds ago doesn't mean that I won't make the fear choice now, right? So what do you do? And if you listen, I went on the other day to talk about this a little bit, that you have to have a practice. It's not a perfect, right? And part of the practice is, coming to groups like this, meditating, having a support group to help you, to remind you, hey, have you done your mirror work? Have you done any affirmations? Have you done some breath work? Have you done shadow work, or whatever work it is that you do, right? Because not everybody does my work, but there's tons of great stuff out there. But having a practice, for me, my practice starts with thinking 3 good thoughts when I wake up in the morning. And everybody who knows me knows I don't get out of bed until I think 3 good feeling thoughts. But that's just to start. So when you come to these groups, we're going to be talking about those things, but we talk about them all the time. And I want to talk about prepaving. I'm really excited to talk about some of the thoughts that I have about it. And if you don't know what prepaving is just thinking about what you want in a way that you set the energy to go in the direction of what you want and not what you don't want, right? So it's about living more deliberately, but not deliberately like I've got to think about every thought that I think about because I've got to be deliberate in my thinking. It's about saying, hey, I've got to be deliberate in my feelings. You guys, you listen, Donna, you listen to Abraham Hicks, right?
Yes, all the time.
So they talk about, like, really, it's not just about thinking about what you're thinking about, because nobody could really ever do that, right? You can't walk around going, what am I thinking about? You'll lose your mind. Okay. But it is about becoming vigilant for good feelings. It's for paying attention to the way you feel, right? Paying attention to the way you feel. There is a line in A Course in Miracles that's very similar to this. It's the lessons of spirit, right? So there's 3 lessons of spirit. And the first lesson is to give all to all. The second lesson is to have peace, teach peace, to learn it. And the third lesson, which when I first read it, because, I always talk about the fact that the word G-O-D is in there. And I really had a hard time when I first started doing A Course in Miracles when I was 19, because I had my own preconceived notions about what that meant. But the third lesson of spirit is be vigilant for God and his kingdom. And what that means to me is be vigilant for love, be vigilant for standing on the platform, for moving from the platform of fear to the platform of love. And life is always, always, always going to give you stuff to say, you sure you don't want to go move over to fear? You sure you don't want to go move over to fear? And you got to say, no, I want to go underneath the train tracks again and get back on the train track of love. And so having support groups, having places to go, coming to things like this to remind you, you know what? Your mind was made so that you can choose, and you've got to choose. It's so easy to choose fear. So we've got to make love super duper loud. Like, gosh, I just sounded 12. But
That's
really,
not it. No, you said make love super duper loud. I'm like, just not when your parents are home. But
Creepy.
but just getting it back to pre-paving tonight. What could we talk about? Now, we're not going to give away what we talked about completely in our open-minded mastermind group, because that would be completely unfair. And why would there be a mastermind group? But if we could just take it down to a novice level, and if we could talk a little bit about what it would be like if people hear us say pre-paving. What's the most general way you can explain pre-paving to anyone that's watching that might also reiterate and echo what we talked about to those that were in our mastermind class that are also watching tonight?
Okay. So pre-paving is, something's coming around the corner, right? That's it. Right? And then you just think, what is the best possible outcome I want, right? So it's like you cast your net to what you want to pick, and then you think, you could say it out loud, like, and it could be something simple like, I want all my food to come out great for Christmas. I want everybody to love what they eat. I want it to be a wonderful holiday. I want to wake up that morning and I want to feel happy. I want everybody to be calm and joyful. I want to be calm and joyful. And I want to go through the whole day like that. And I want to end my day thinking, what a great holiday this was, right? Okay. That's about one day. You can make it about one phone call. So once you figure out what you want, then you got to find a tool that gets you there. And the tool isn't about making it perfect. The tool is about feeling good about it, right? Because isn't the way you feel everything? Isn't it what we're always manifesting is a feeling? What we're always manifesting is a feeling, right? And what we're always manifesting is a feeling that feels good. Because when you have a feeling that feels good and you're feeling good, your next feeling is going to feel good. Okay. So the goal, and that's why you have to be vigilant, because it's about the next feeling. You can't manifest for 700 years right now. You're manifesting for right now. So you get into that thing where you're starting momentum. So you're thinking of it like a train that you're going to get going out of the station in the direction that you want it to go. So you have that thought. I know what I want. Now you get to start to think, why am I going to get that? And then you're going to say, because it feels so good to, and you could say, I love being surrounded with my family. If you do. But if that's not your thing, you could say, I love being alone in my house. If you do, look, whatever it is you're going to create. Why do I love it? It feels so good to be able to put my socks on and put my feet up on the couch and be alone. If you want to be alone for the holiday, whatever you're creating, right? It feels so good to sit around the Christmas tree with my family. If you're not Christian, it feels so good to, I don't know, go sleigh riding, whatever it is you're creating. And trying to come up with a good feeling and then step into that feeling. Have you ever had a time you felt like that? To me, that's the quickest way to pre-pave. So I always give the example of, there was my mother-in-law, my ex-mother-in-law. Now she knows, hope never going to watch this show. So I can say,
come on, we need viewers. Let's go. And if you're watching ex-mother-in-law, please do us a favor, subscribe and share. Thanks.
Perfect.
I should send it to her.
At least she's good for something.
Right. So she was a difficult character in my life. Like, she was definitely someone who, decided that she was going to come into my life to help me. I'm confident that before my life started, she and I got together and I said, I'm going to want to learn a lesson in using my voice. And she said, great, I'm going to come down and I'm going to squelch your voice and you're going to have to learn how to use your voice with me. And we're high-fived and we're oh, I'll go down first. She said, I'll go down first. I'll see you in 20 years. Have a great time. We'll see you in 30 years. And then I'll try to squelch your feelings and emotions and you're going to learn how to rise up. And we're both going to end up strong. I don't know how that went down. So anyway, I always felt so uncomfortable talking around her for the first couple of years. So I used to pick up the phone, and before I pick up the phone, I'd think, what do I want this conversation to be like? For a second, as the phone's ringing, I didn't have hours to think about it. Phone's ringing. I want to pick it up, right? Believe it or not, this is how long ago that was, because it was this kind of phone I was picking up, right?
Rotary phone.
Yeah, not a rotary, those slim
a wall phone. Yes, we got it.
So I'm I got my hand on the big landline phone. And I'm this is going to be, at the end, we'll both be laughing. And I just picture myself laughing. And I think about how nice it feels to laugh, right? And I try to think about how much I love laughing. And I pick up the phone. So what I've done is set my energy in the direction of laughing. right? And that's what prepaving is. It's like taking your ship and pointing it in the direction that you want to sail. Now, I know nothing about sailing, so maybe you don't do that. I don't know how you sail.
Nope, that's it. That's it. That's what you do.
Right,
Point in the direction you want to go. That's
right.
exactly right.
Right.
Tracy,
So,
do you have a question? Because if not, I have a question.
Oh, go ahead, Donna. No,
Okay,
no.
so because Kim, you are a wealth of information.
Yes.
But sometimes when I hear you, I feel like we're playing a game and it's the sand and the timer. I'm watching it go. Like, wait, I don't know if I can remember all this. So before we get to, I have to turn it over, I have to ask a question. Okay. So for myself, and I know those out there, I've definitely prepaved, even when I didn't know what prepaving was. You get yourself ready, you meditate, you get ready to go to work, you driving in the car, you're putting on your favorite song, and it's not even a day where there's that person that's making you late because they're driving really slow, because that could throw you off of your good feeling. We're talking about, and you walk into your job, and we can make it any job. And the first thing that happens is, exactly, Tracy, somebody sits there and, like I like to call it, okay, we're all adults here, they poop on your desk. Yeah. So what does that mean? It means that they've decided that before work, they had a big old breakfast of the news, their angry life, their miserable marriage, and they take all of that, they digest it, and they poop it on my desk. And I'm like, wait a second, I don't watch the news, I prepave. I don't have an angry marriage, I'm divorced, and I don't have to deal with like whatever it is that you're dealing with. So why am I dealing with your stuff? So I must magnetize that for some reason, which is a different show. But what is it, Kim, that you can say to us, because you're telling us how to prepave, and that's really great. But what happens when there's an inadvertent pothole that no matter how great our steamroller is, we can't pave over?
I am so excited. So yesterday I talked about this. If you watched my video on preparing for setbacks, right? That Course in Miracles says that your light will attract light, but it will also attract darkness, because what is a shadow, right? So if you know that when you move into that happy space, the universe wants us to grow. Unfortunately, I don't know why. Like I know that Abraham Hicks say that it's not about that, but I read A Course in Miracles. We are supposed to get better at everything. So would you go into a boxing match to learn how, like, would you practice? Say you had a boxing match coming up. Would you be like, I want to find the weakest person to practice with? Of course not, right? No, the universe is going to give you good people to practice boxing. So you say, I want to be happy. And the universe says, are you sure? So here's what it's going to do. It's going to teach you how to stay in your tunnel of light. Hence, rule number 3, be vigilant for God and his kingdom. What that means is be vigilant for light, be vigilant for love. When that person puts their poop on your desk, you could say, ow, right? Because if you know the law of attraction and you've heard this step number 5 is, I see contrast, and I'm like, okay, right? So yes, a lot of the time, like today, I had a day where a lot of people were like mad at me, like mad at me. Not for anything I did, just because they were frustrated by the situation, and I'm a really good person to get mad at because I'm right there, right? And I could say, I could join them, right? So I could join them, or I could say, wow, I have a lot of tools, and now this is when I become that warrior for light, right? Not warrior, but like I got to be vigilant. So in that moment, the universe is giving you an opportunity. It's not in the moments of greatness that we grow. It's in that moment when that person does that. So what you do is you understand the rule. And the rule is whatever I want, I must give away, right? Whatever I want, I must give away. So this person is pooping on my desk. I keep saying
it's a good visual though.
Right. Pooping on my desk. And now, don't get me wrong, I'm going to ask them to clean it up. I'm not going to do their job for them, right? I'm not going to do their job for them. I'm going to like, hey, you pooped on my desk. Thank you for cleaning it up. But while they're cleaning it up, right? Because, if someone harms you, it's not your responsibility to go and they've got their stuff, right? You own what your stuff is. And what your stuff is twofold. I've got to create an environment. Now you've got to create an environment where no one has access to poop on your desk. And while you're doing that, you send them blessings, right? Thank you so much for coming into my workplace to recognize that I got to expand my circle of light a little wider. I got to make it so that nobody has access to my desk. Thank you so much for teaching me this lesson. Thank you. And then I ask that you're lifted in light. I ask that you're lifted in love. I did that all day today. I mean, I have to say, there was a lot of people that they like to complain about me about things that I am not in charge of. Like, I never created a pandemic. I did not create the virus, and I did not create, no, I did not create the rules that go along with the virus in a work situation, right? I
feel like if I went to your office, there'd be a lot of piñatas of your coworkers. I picture them all elevated, lifted in light, and ready for you to beat them with a stick. But that happens a lot, Kim and Tracy. I know we've talked about it. Like, you might have a friend that, like, I know for myself, that will take full advantage, make an appointment, right? And then not show up. And I don't ask them to pay for it because I feel like, how could I do that? But that's a rule that I would put on anybody else. But
here's the thing, Donna, is that the universe is going to keep giving you that lesson, right? It's going to keep, isn't it nice? It keeps giving you an opportunity to get it right, right?
Yeah, right.
Right. So it's not, this is not about judgment, or it's just about, what do I want, right? So I got to make it, I just learned that I create a space where people poop on my desk. I don't want that. Thank you, universe. Now, here's the thing. We're usually in a rush when this is going on. That's why we got to prepave in the morning. And that's why I, like, if you ever took my course, I put up sticky notes, because you go into life and life moves fast, and it is easy to get swept up in playing small. It is so easy to get swept up.
I love it.
And when you say that, though, and that's great. What do you mean by that, Kim? So when you say swept up by playing small, because I feel like that's a really profound statement. Right. I feel like that's something we need to delve into.
So playing small is, look, in the blame game, right? Look what you did to me, not owning. So if we all think that we're creators of our experience, playing small means, look what you did to me, or talking about somebody behind their back, or because this is where I fall is gossip. Office gossip. It's like, oh my God, I can't.
It's the name of my business.
Right?
It's the name of my. I'm seriously considering changing the name of the salon.
I remember the conversation with you years ago. Like,
I know.
But you didn't know me then. But here's the thing: is that I am very aware when I gossip. I'm telling the universe I am willing to play small. And the universe, when you're willing to play small with the universe always says, cool, we'll send you friends, right? Like, and that's what happens. So what I mean by that is that then the world will keep giving me opportunities to play big.
I'm going to have to name it Salon 4 Agreements.
Yeah, right? Salon Impeccable.
Yeah.
Salon Awesome.
The Impeccable Salon.
Salon Open My Mystics.
Salon Zen. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The Salon. Yes, I know. Oh, I think about that. So pre-paving, what could you be doing? What are you doing right now, Tracy, to pre-pave?
Well, I want to ask you a question regarding pre-paving, because it goes along with all this energetic, like moving energy. What's the difference between pre-paving? And so a lot of times I'll say, like, someone will say to me, oh no, I'm afraid this is going to happen. I'll go, no, don't say it, because you're going to create that. What's the difference of pre-paving and doing that, right? So if you're pre-paving saying, I want this to go smoothly because it might be stressful, and I want so pre-paving is just everything's in the positive, correct? You don't mention anything.
Okay, can I just mention something? You could be as positive as you want in the world, right? But if you're like still worried about the way it's going to go, I mean, really, the thing that pre-paving we want to do is to let it go, right? The actual goal in pre-paving is to want it and let it go. I have never ever found, I always found that things came to me the second I let them go so much more fast, so much more quickly than they came if I was fighting for them, right? Like I can't even, like, even when I met my boyfriend, I'll remember I was like, I'm not in the space to meet anybody right now. I'm too busy, right? The second I thought that, like, it's like they came and mean, right? Because all of a sudden you don't care, right? That's the way energy works. Because don't get me wrong, you put out what you want into the universe plenty. It's not like they lost your file. In my file,
they lost my file.
It's like super thick. I remember years ago. I think it was Marianne Williamson. She said it, and it was like hit me. She's like, because at that time I was in my early 20s when I was listening to her, and she said, God can't lose your file. I'm like, really? I felt like it's like, I thought it might be under a desk somewhere.
Yeah, you're like, my file's in Africa or something. Nobody's picking it up.
Africa.
Right. This is like while I was on the way my journey. Like no one's lost your file. The thing is that we need to move into a space of sure, like knowing my file is going to be open and read, and that knowing doesn't have a lot of longing or wanting or yearning in it, because that is the like antithesis of prepaving. Prepaving is like,
that's hard.
So I have an example of prepaving, and I talked about this example when I was young. My daughter was young, and I had gotten emerald earrings for my I had gotten emerald earrings as my wedding gift, right? I never ever wore them ever, because they had like one of the screws was like broken on the earrings, and so it just kind of slid in. But we went to a thing, and I wore my earrings, and the next day I realized I still had one on, right? And I'm like,
oh no.
And I remember I was driving when I realized it, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I said, thank you, guys, angels and guides or whatever. You got to go get me my other earring. I refuse to lose that earring, right? I just was like, you will find it for me. And I just did it like that. Like I was like, oh, I am not losing that earring. And
no.
I can't tell you like the feeling I had. Like I just was like, no, thank you. Just go get it. Like that's how I felt, like fetch it, right? I don't know why. I just felt like I can't not have it, right? Because I didn't want to have to deal with the
sure
the
turmoil
of losing that earring.
The agita.
So I went home, I took it off, forgot about it, right? The next day, my daughter, she's like 2 or 3, she toddles over to me and she said, Mommy, pretty. And she was holding my emerald earring.
Wow.
I'm like, you guys are awesome.
I love that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've had that happen, not with emerald earrings. I haven't had emerald earrings, but where I got as a gift from a very good friend of mine, it was a charm for a bracelet. And it was while I was doing comedy, it was a boombox with my name engraved on it. And one day I looked down, it was gone. And I was like, when did I even lose it? I didn't even realize I lost it.
Right.
And I have to tell you, like 2 weeks later, same thing. I didn't sweat it. I didn't not believe I wouldn't find it again.
Yeah.
And
that's exactly what happened. Yes.
It wasn't any panic attached to it. It was, I just felt like it's mine. It belongs to me. It's going to be mine again. 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks after that, rather, I should say, I had a client that was coming in to get their hair done. And I had to walk around to the other side of my car to grab towels. And I saw something shiny out of the corner of my eye. I looked down, and it was in the dirt, in the curb, in front of the salon.
Oh my God.
And it had just been sitting there for 2 weeks or whatever it was.
And you found it.
I looked down, and I'm telling you, this thing was tiny. I looked down, and it was there. But I think it's because I just didn't panic over it.
Right.
You know, I think it's important when you know that something's going to happen, when you believe something's going to happen. Personally, I have a thing where when I can't see it happening in my mind, and I know that I guess it's to go with prepaving. When I cannot see it in my mind, it's not going to happen.
Right. Well, that's the law of creation. They say everything that was ever created was visualized or thought about in some way first. Think about it. Everything in the world that was ever created, someone had to think about, right? So why can't, and if your thoughts are creative, think about the ones that you want. So, and what's really funny is I created a very nice relationship with my ex-mother-in-law. We had a very nice relationship at the end. It was one that is no longer in my life, but it's almost like I had to heal that relationship in order to let go of it. Like the universe, I sometimes wonder if the reason I married my ex-husband was more about that relationship, because in empowering myself in that relationship and with the relationship with their son, but in empowering myself with that relationship, it's almost like as I work through that, I never had that issue again. It was like, and I had that issue so many times when people had authority over me, or I felt like they had authority over me, and I would lose my voice. In my healing that relationship, I really found my voice. So you never know, like what what things mean or what they're meant to give you or what they're meant to, and it's little things. So like really prepaving it could be like the key to so many things, but it is so interesting that in creating or manifesting anything, and in creating or manifesting anything, it's about wanting it and then letting it go. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'm writing to everybody. I said, thank you so much for watching. If you don't mind sharing us with your friends, I'd really appreciate it. And today is St. Nicholas's Day. I hope your girls got behaved and got some gifts. I like that.
That's so sweet. Of course. Yeah, no, but
we're here. That's our gift.
Yeah, that is our gift. And the fact that you're sharing with your friends, that's another gift, because again, you can never, what she was saying, never too old for gifts, never too old to learn new things. Like this prepaving makes so much sense logically, but I'm like, how come we haven't done it? How come we don't know about it? How come we've never done it? I had a weird thing that was like I don't know if it's a manifestation or prepaving, and I don't know the difference, and I'm going to ask you this. And it was the weirdest thing, and I thought of both of you, and I can't believe I forgot to tell you this. So in the city, there's this great vegan restaurant that I go to, which is awesome, right? And they have these vegan brownies, which I've never tried, and it's like a really shishi place. So they're very expensive and stuff. And the crazy part was they're like made out of buckwheat, and they're made out of all this stuff. And I was like, those brownies look so good, but I don't want to pay $7 for a brownie. That's just like not logical. I'm not going to do that. But I really want to try those brownies. I know somehow I'm going to get a brownie. I just have a feeling that I'm going to try the brownie. I'm going to love it. And then I just stopped thinking about it. And I'm not even making this up. The guy that was working behind the counter is like a really nice guy. He came up to me. He's like, sorry to bother you, but I made a brownie for somebody and I put this cashew cream on it that they are allergic to. Is there any chance that you want this brownie? And I was like, I was looking around like, am I on candid camera right now? I'm like, yes, I want this brownie. And he gave me the brownie and it was amazing. And I was like, whoa, I think I just did that.
You did.
I said to myself, I know I'm going to get this brownie, but I don't feel like paying for it. I would never steal it. It's behind a glass. I couldn't touch it. But I was like, I want that brownie. I'm going to get that brownie. Somehow I'm going to get that brownie. And but I'd been in there a million times before and I'd seen those brownies and I never thought that I wanted one. And it was like, I sat down there and I was looking at it. I was like, should I get one?
Because there's no resistance. You had no resistance. You didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'll do sometimes with animals too? You're ever outside. And so there was a squirrel on my deck, right? And I wanted the squirrel to go away, right? Because I wanted to go take my dog outside and I didn't want my dog to eat the squirrel because believe it or not, my dog will chase the squirrel. So the squirrel's on my deck and I wanted the squirrel to go away because I didn't want it's harmed, right? So I looked at the squirrel and it saw me and I pictured it going away. I just pictured it going away and I pictured it climbing up the tree. So I visualized it going away and it's like I sent that visual to the squirrel and it did that. It just went away and went up the tree. And I'm like, like I honestly think if you listen to Dolores Cannon, she says we're all connected and we hear each other if we listen, right? We can hear each other. This planet has telepathy. We can hear each other.
Definitely.
And so we can manifest with energy, right? So the purpose of our being here is to learn one of them is to learn how to manipulate energy. And part of energy is through our thinking, right? Our energy is controlled through our thinking, and we can speak to each other through thought. She actually said there's going to come a time on this planet where we'll no longer speak. We'll just think, which is so weird and so hard to contact. And that there has been a time in the planet many, many millions of years ago. I don't know. It's Dolores Cannon who where humans just thought they didn't have to speak. So
it's interesting that you say that. I want to just say this because there's so many different ways that you can interpret things, right? Mm-hmm. Like for instance, they talk about cars that are powered by batteries and things. Like we haven't had a flying car yet, but we have airplanes. And I know it's not a flying car, but it's a flying thing to get us somewhere, right? So I think that there is definitely room for translation. We are totally in a time right now where we can communicate without talking. It doesn't mean necessarily it's telepathy, but you have messenger, you have text message, and not only that, but think about the fact that we are wearing earbuds, right? We are wearing earbuds, we are wearing wireless ones. How many times have you seen someone walking down the street and you think they're talking to themselves? And they're not. They're talking to someone else
all the time.
Again, it's interpretation, and whether or not whatever it is that you subscribe to or believe in, if you feel that Dolores Cannon speaks to you, and you feel that, which is interesting because I told you before we got on tonight, I was listening on Clubhouse, and there was a room talking about building your intuition. And I turned it on because I was leaving where I was, and I was like, I'd rather listen to that than music any day.
Yeah.
I can listen to music at the salon all day. I can't listen to podcasts at the salon. So I was listening to it, and a woman that was on started speaking about, she did this, I forget, it was QR something. It's something that Dolores Cannon taught.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
And it was an acronym for it, or the letters for it, whatever. And while she was saying it, in my mind, I'm like, she's talking about Dolores Cannon. Now, my first, introduction to Dolores Cannon was you, Kim, and then me, and then the three of us talking about it on the show, and then, me looking into it and, as research for the show. But I just found it to be so interesting that now, because you put it into existence, it shows up in your life.
Yeah,
and
so true.
And when you do that, and that is Abraham Hicks too, when you talk about something, it just shows up in your life. And I find that fascinating. So for you, Tracy, when you said that you wanted that brownie, and you were like, I don't want to pay for it, I just want to try it, I know I'm going to love it, you put that out to the universe, as if the universe, if you picture, which I do in my very visual mind all the time, like a woman on roller skates with like that little thing on and a pen, and she's like taking the orders, and she's like, wait, what? You want the brownie? You don't want to pay for it. So it's like, I feel like that's Mel's Diner. Like that's what it's all about. And that's why you got to be careful with what you put out there. I've been really meditating a lot more than, and guided stuff. I think I was more inspired to go back to guided meditation from last week's group. And I'm using that app. What is it called? I don't know if I sent it to either one of you or not, but Insight Timer. Have you used Insight Timer?
No.
Oh my God. I'm going to send it to you after the show. I found it again through one of the meditation groups I listened to on. Hey, Angel, what's going on? How are you? Nice to see you. Welcome. So it's through one of the groups I was listening to on Clubhouse. You guys, if you haven't joined Clubhouse, you should join Clubhouse. But Insight Timer, it's free. Okay. And what I love about it is it's a free app where you can get meditations. But you could also, if you want to, tip the person who's doing the meditation. Twice already, I've had the craziest experiences. Last night, I felt somebody come into my room, but like it was not a hard look at Tracy's face. But I'm just saying, like, I'm loving that it's cyclical. It's like I find myself wanting to meditate, and then I get out of it. I find myself wanting to make time for it. This expansion, and then it's like more, please. And I feel like that's what we're doing. I feel like that's what we're doing. And that's why, I don't know. I know, sorry, I didn't mean to talk so much.
Wait a minute. You cannot say you felt somebody come into the room and just leave it at that. That is not okay.
So it was an angel meditation. It was a guided meditation. And it was a female voice. The one that the 2 nights before that I did that, I literally remember like a feeling of leaving my body, like an astral projection, but not hovering over it. But like I was goo. I was like melted in my space. It was amazing. That's sober awesome. And it was amazing. But last night I couldn't sleep. And one of the things I've been doing, which is funny that Angel came in and it's an angel meditation, is that it's like they give you instructions, lay on your back, feel all the space, just like what we talked about, feel the space that you're being supported by, and listen to this meditation. And it was first a breathing exercise, but I was laying in bed and I swear I felt, now I switched over to my stomach and I was laying there and I felt it like if somebody could not see me in bed, like they didn't know, like I was part of that mattress, and they came and laid on the bed and I felt them and I was like, oh, get off me. And like it happened again. And then all of a sudden I felt like this hand come underneath my cover and I bit its finger.
No.
Yes. I have that stuff happen to me all the time.
Yeah, I've had experiences like that too.
Yeah, so I got a smudge tonight.
Yeah, but
wait, did you think it was something negative?
I don't know, but I think that, I bit the finger. I don't want them to come back and get mad. Like, I just feel like I'm going to smudge to clear the energy.
What made you bite the finger?
I felt like
Charlie
it was
bit my finger.
Yeah. I just felt like it was my only defense because I was so motionless. I could not move. I really couldn't move.
But
So
you
my
felt the
only
need to defend yourself, though. You
Well,
didn't feel
yeah. So my only
safe.
way of defending myself was to bite the finger on this creature.
So maybe what you could do is the next time you meditate, before you do it, you can just say,
Yeah.
I call up only that energy of highest vibrational good.
Yeah, I should.
I mean, that will just like, only the energy of highest vibrational good is allowed in my space. And when I smudge my house, I say, I protect my, I ask that only energy of highest vibrational good is allowed in my space.
Yeah. Brian says it's incubus.
Which is like the devil.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, he had given me some really good tips before, and I'll probably have to do it. But I just felt it was so like real. It was so wild.
Wow.
I'm gonna put the name of the app.
Were you scared at all?
Oddly enough, I wasn't scared. It was more of a, come on, are you serious right now? I'm trying to sleep. Like, who's coming on top of my back like this?
Yeah.
And then it was like, and I remember feeling I wasn't moving. I know I wasn't moving because I couldn't, but I felt like my energy was like doing this. Like, I'm laying down. And I'm like, get off me. And then, and then it happened a second time. So it's called Insight Timer.
Well, it's interesting because any of the energy that I've ever had in my room has never like sat on top of me. Like, yeah, it's just always sat at the end of my bed.
No, mine is really always pretty intrusive.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Look at you. I love it. You're like, it's pretty cool. And Tracy's sitting there like, what? The fried chicken.
I don't get these want to make out with me entities on the other
Nobody
side.
wanted to make out with me. I'm just saying, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. No. But Insight Timer, it's amazing. And I'll tell you, what I love about it is, so recently played, it was the Safe in the Wings of Your Guardian Angel bedtime meditation.
Okay, so I'm not playing that one. I was just going to ask you that, Kim. Okay, so that's exactly, you took the words right out of my mouth. I'm like, could there be like underlying themes? You know how like they used to say, if you play the records backwards, it's like a satanic message?
No, belief is everything.
Like the other one was manifest abundance while you sleep. It was amazing. I felt like I melted like a candle.
Right. So here's my question about this, because sometimes I'll do meditations to fall asleep because, after 50, I haven't slept through the night. Okay. So sometimes I'll do them. But when I get to the end of the meditation, it wakes me up. Do these just like fade away?
Fade away. Fade away.
It's an app, or is it?
It's a free app. It's right on the bottom. It's called Insight Timer.
Okay.
Okay. And when I tell you, I've really enjoyed it. So much so. Here, I'll make it a bigger one.
Right.
Or classic. There we go. Insight Timer. And it's, like I said, it's free. And you could, like, I actually tipped somebody like $5 or whatever it was. Listen to Jerry. Yes, Tracy, exactly. A bad spell. Listen, here's the thing. It is what you believe in.
Yeah.
And if you believe in everything and that there's possibility for good and evil, then I'm sure that it could, but I don't know. My head didn't spin. I didn't spit out any pea soup.
No, but you felt like it was inherently not a good feeling. Like,
well, I bit the finger.
Right. But you could bite somebody's finger that's just annoying you, that you're not scared
Perhaps.
of. Like, get off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But make sure before you go to bed to say only going to call upon energy.
Okay, I will. And a bad spell. And you know what I will do? Actually, something my grandmother taught me. My grandmother used to teach me every night before bed to say a prayer. And I have not prayed before sleep in a really long time, but maybe tonight I'll say the Our Father. But I will tell you, now you really want to get freaky deaky.
Yeah.
I've definitely had many opportunities, chances to astral project, to leave my body. I've felt it many times. And when there have been moments where I have felt scared, that is exactly what I do. I start to recite the Our Father.
I
do. Or Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Either one of those is what will work for me, because in a very subconscious space, that is something I remember doing since I was a little girl. Like praying either one of those prayers. So in those moments, and I've had those moments, Wait, what is this? Tracy Paul is dead. Look it up.
Oh yeah, the backwards.
Yeah, backwards.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
Right.
I will read what you sent me earlier. I promise. I was running around all day today and I didn't read it.
You know what you could do, Donna? Is
and
that comes
pray,
again,
everyone.
just start reciting Miss American Pie. It'll drive any entity nuts.
I can't even listen to that song. I can't listen to that song.
That's what I'm saying. It'll drive them nuts. It'll be like, I can't listen to this long 15-minute song. I got to get out of here.
I know. Okay. Want to know what he said? Incubus, 1879. Incubus is a demon in male form who, according to mythological and legendary traditions, lies upon sleeping women in order to engage in sexual activity with them.
That's why I said making out. I knew what an incubus was.
Oh, I didn't know that. Incubus is a band. I was like, have the band come on over. I didn't even.
I read a lot of vampire books in my day.
Yeah, so maybe you should call that app Insert Timer instead of Insight Timer.
Its female counterpart is Succubus. Salacious tales of incubi and succubi have been told for many centuries in traditional societies. Some traditions hold that repeated sexual activity with an incubus or succubus may result in the deterioration of health, an impaired mental state, or even death. And then he wrote smudge.
Yeah. So I get old like men just sitting on the end of my bed like grandpa, and you get these people who want to make out with you.
Exactly. He said, light a candle, face the window, open with the door closed, repeat 3 times, leave this place, blow out candle, close the window, and open the door. All right, I'll do it.
Okay.
Do it, girl.
I love it. The wealth of information.
I know. This is why I said, like, the internet is the cool, like, everybody's like, like, in my life, I have people like, Facebook, the internet. I'm like, the best place on earth. You just got to know how to use it. It's just like, surround it with your highest guides of highest vibrational good and call it a day. Right?
That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then
speaking of that, you got to pull an angel card now.
Okay.
We talked about
all right. Here we go.
That's freaking me out. We got to see what they're going to say because I totally call on all those angels.
Do you want me to use these tonight?
Yeah, call your angels in, girl.
Okay. All right. I feel like that. Well, that's a song. It's a great
spot.
Damn spot. I'm not really afraid though, because I feel like they'd probably trip in the storytime room anyway on the way to get me. They would trip over all the books.
Get me out of here!
All right, I'm gonna go first then tonight. Okay.
That's awesome.
Wait, can I say something while you're shuffling?
Yes, say it.
You all know that I've been looking for homes, right? And so my big thing when I look for homes is I love old architecture. I'm a fan of old. I'm not a fan of new, right? So everything I look at is old. Every house that I look at is old. I want old. But with old comes energy.
Yeah.
So I'm in this one house and I've been through so many houses I can't even tell you. I'm going to say I've been through at least 60 houses.
Oh my.
And they're all old. And there was this one, and I'm like, oh, what's this door lead to? And it was like a back stairwell. Like the old doors have like a servant stairwell and a regular stairwell. I swear to God, you guys, I opened the door and I heard, I heard like a bunch of voices talking at once. And I was like, okay, we can leave now.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not moving here.
I heard it as clear as day. I heard it, you guys. I heard it. And I was like, I got to get the bleep out of here.
Absolutely.
You know who that is, right? That's some young kid that's playing a recording. He's like, you're not taking my inheritance.
Yeah, maybe. Hopefully.
No, I'm sure it's not.
Hopefully. God, it was weird. That's totally
crazy.
Weird.
I love that though. All right. Are you ready?
You would love that if you heard it.
I do, but happy holidays to you too, Angel. I hope you join our group next month, December 27th. You can come on over to join Open-Minded Mystics. Wait a second. Yes, I'm going to try to see if I can get the banner up.
OMMG.
Banner up. I just said it like that. I just said banner.
Yeah, we need to come up with that little. I remember that thing. That
what?
Little. She just made our theme song.
Yeah, a little jingle.
I know.
We need a little jingle.
I don't know about you, but where I am right now, the weather is frightful, and the wind has been crazy, and the rain is nuts. And I will tell you that the Incubus better not try it tonight.
Oh my God. You're like, I'm not
having it, Incubus. Okay, so Open-Minded Mystics presents the Open-Minded Mastermind Group, the 4th Monday of the month, $20 per session. Each session includes lecture, interactive workshop, and group discussion. The difference is we are starting at 7:30 instead of 8, and we're going till 9. You can Venmo Donna V at Salon Gossip with your email address to reserve your spot. We're also asking in that email rather, in that spot underneath where you Venmo the money and you're placing your email, we're not recording the entire session, but we're asking this time if you would be okay and give us permission to record the meditation only. And that meditation will be sent only to those who are in the group. Because if you were part of the first group, you would know that meditation was monumental. And if you could only imagine that you could have that meditation to replay during the week when you need to be further uplifted, further comforted, and further supported, it would be amazing. So our group meets, oops, sorry, that's Dolores Cannon, funny as it is. We have the next one would be, oh, that's November 29th. Sorry, kids. Donna is like, can't see these little tiny things. Okay, so 12/27 is winter solstice, preparing for the new year. Then we have January 24th, love everything, moving from the platform of fear to the platform of love. These are all found on all of our socials. So you can find all of these advertisements on Facebook and on Instagram. And we just wanted to remind you before we get into the cards, we are at the 5-minute mark, that is what's coming up. We're so excited. If you do not have Venmo and you need some help to get on, you let us know, send us a message, and we'll help you maybe through Zelle, or we'll talk about it. We'll trade or something. You got cookies?
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. I know a guy. All right, so I'm going to go first. If you are identifying with my energy, my name is Donna V. I'm your host. Please. I'm serious. If you're an incubus,
you're like, if you're identifying with my energy,
then I love it. And you would like a message tonight, then these cards are for me and for you. And I am going to say it is so, and stop. All right. So the first card up is love. Ooh. Oh, I love it. The heart of love is in the center, is the heart of creation. All is possible through love. All is worthwhile for love. May you all think and feel, reflect love's eternal truth.
Okay. Sounds
the
good.
Bottom card is sacred space. That's what I need to create for tonight.
Wow, yes.
This is great. We, your guardian angels, surround you with emerald, gold, and rose pink light. Surrender your concerns and worries to enter the sacred space of love and healing. How funny is that?
I'm just...
Wait, what did I say?
That's funny.
Wait.
I'm laughing about you're creating a sacred space for tonight.
I love Ryan. It's going to happen, Ryan. Don't worry about it.
For love tonight with your incubus.
I didn't even get it. We, your guardian angels. Oh, so you're saying it's going to be, okay. Okay.
Anyway, go ahead.
All right. Well, okay. Who's going next?
I am.
Go
ahead.
Listen to the both of you.
Let's have Tracy go next.
Okay. All right.
All right, Tracy.
I need some angel energy, kids. Come on.
Okay.
All right. You let me know.
Now.
Okay.
Okay.
First card is prayer.
Okay.
No matter how difficult the situation may seem, Tracy, all is possible. Ask. We are listening.
Okay, I'll do it.
Archangel Gabriel.
Again, Gabriel. Let me write it down.
Yeah, you will soon receive some positive news. The channels for clear and honest communication are now open. Keep an open heart and speak your truth lovingly without fear.
Okay.
I love it.
Okay,
ready?
Awesome. I'm ready.
I like that we have matching nails. Well, kind of. I did this because I'm like, candy cane.
Yes. I love you. Stop.
Ooh.
I was trying to be in the middle.
All right. Okay. First card up. Harmony.
Okay.
Disharmony occurs when we try to resist life's natural flow. Everything has its cycle. Every stage of life has its own unique meaning and purpose. Every day can be harmonious if we want it to be.
Okay.
It is. You're in Michigan. Wow.
Angel. Please be safe and warm.
Yes, Angel. I'm going to wrap you in the arms of the angels and the wings. That's what happened last night, Angel. Be careful. And love. You got love like I did.
Love and harmony. Who could ask for anything more?
That's right. The heart of love is in the heart of creation. All is possible through love. All is worthwhile for love. May all of you think and feel and reflect love's eternal truth. You know what I'm in the mood for? This middle card.
Love.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Truth.
Truth. Okay.
The best way through the current situation is to just speak your truth. Contrary to what you may think, no one will be hurt if you express exactly how you feel. Somebody out there needed to hear that.
Okay.
3 snaps and a wiggle. Guys, we are exactly at 59. I mean, like literally, you could not have even timed this better tonight.
Good.
I want to
Good.
say thank you so much to everyone who's watching. And don't forget to share. Ladies, do you have anything you want to share with everyone?
I'm so excited about this mastermind. Get in, get involved. You will love it. But thank you for tuning in now. It doesn't matter if you can or can't do it. We totally understand. We just want to impart as much knowledge. And I want to thank both of you ladies for always bringing it and having so much fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you all for watching. I love you guys so much. I love you guys, my tribe. Thanks for being part of my tribe.
Jerry, love and harmony.
Yay.
To everyone else that's watching, Karina, Kathy, Angel, Jerry, and of course, Ryan, thank you and good night.
Good night.
See you next week.